Welcome back to FC. Kylian Mbappe might be regarded as one of the world's best footballers, but it appears not everyone is totally happy with the French striker. A petition has gone viral after it was signed by, nearly 29 million people who want him out of Real Madrid. So if he does leave, which Premier League club suits him best? Mbappe, just to give you a bit of context, has come under criticism recently for taking a trip to Sardinia earlier this week. Mbappe hit back at that criticism via a statement. He's currently out injured and could miss this weekend's El Clasico against Barcelona. Look, Charlie Austin, he's been given time off. He's gone on holiday. Read the room. Perhaps don't put some stories of you on a boat in Sardinia. That's maybe something I'd suggest. But that's a lot of signatures, isn't it? 29 million to get him out of Real Madrid. Is that criticism fair? He's the top scorer in La Liga, and in a Real Madrid shirt, he scored 85 goals in 100 games.
All right, he's injured. He's been given time off.
Hello, my people. Mbappe need to win World Cup. For him to shun his critics at this moment, he has to win this upcoming World Cup. You know what I mean? If he didn't win it, he's gonna get more criticism from his haters. You know what I mean? But I think those that are criticizing him now, they have legitimate reasons to criticize him, you know what I mean? But, because sometimes, you see that scoring more goals, he scored, I think he's the highest goal scorer in La Liga this season, 24 goals, and 41 goals in all competitions, in 41 appearances this season. But still, it seems that Real Madrid is not going to win anything, They are not going to win any trophy this season, which is a huge disappointment because this guy, Mbappe, have been in Real Madrid for 2 seasons now. And if you're going to be a legend in Real Madrid, you can have a grace of 1 season not winning much, but for you to stay in Real Madrid for 2 seasons, and with this type of, when he signed for Real Madrid, he was like he's one of the best in the world. They paid a lot of money to bring him to Real Madrid, and it's been a huge disappointment for Real Madrid and for himself as well. You know what I mean? But sometimes it doesn't work like that. There was a video I made about Vinicius Junior and Kylian Mbappe. They shouldn't be in the same team. Because, Mbappe is not a box goal scorer, like somebody that stays in the box and score goals. The same thing with Vinicius Junior. You know what I mean? All these people they like to run with ball. They give them ball, they run with it. 2 of them does the same thing, and they do it perfect. You know what I mean? They are the best at what they do. And, you need sometimes to have one of them and somebody that can be a box scorer, somebody that is just going to be inside the box and score, like Holland and like, Harry Kane, you need somebody like that with somebody, one of them, you know what I mean? But if you bring 2 of them combined together, you're not going to get much from them, I don't want to talk about people that are criticizing them like he has ego, he's pompous, or his money has gotten over his head. I don't want to go that route because I don't see there's no anything that signals that was the case. Because remember, he have some ups and downs. Sometimes I think he has he was off for 3 games or something like due to injury. You know what I mean? And people are still criticizing him, and as people that are doing that, they have right to do that because for you to be a superstar, when you came and you couldn't under your stuff, Real Madrid have not won any significant trophy, is a huge disappointment. So that's why you're gonna look at why people are doing that, But now they're trying to blame everything on him. You know what I mean? And which is unfair because if he didn't score goals this season, you can criticize him. He didn't do his job. His job is to score goals. And football, soccer, is a teamwork. It's not an individual work. But as a striker and as a top striker, you have to do your job, and their job there is to score goals. It doesn't. If your team loses, and they score goal, they should have it means that there's other problem with that team that they should look into that problem and solve it. You know what I mean. You cannot underestimate this guy. You cannot say that he's not a world class football player. You know what I mean. And I think sometimes things doesn't work out for you, maybe there's bigger stuff coming, like this World Cup coming. If Mbappe, France, which France is gonna be a team to beat in this World Cup. To be honest, because they have they have all the talents there. Yes, the only problem they can have if they can play together. But if they can play together, I don't see. They will definitely go for finals. Maybe if they're unlucky, they might not win it. But if Mbappe happen to win, to go to final and win it again, become his second World Cup, you can criticize him anything you want, but he becomes a legend. I remember he has won World Cup. People forget about it, and he was a key player for that World Cup. It was his contribution and his goals that made sure that France won that World Cup. And this time around, it's looking good for France, to win World Cup. And if Mbappe, without any injury, they go to World Cup, I think if it's lucky and they win it again, all his critics will be, silenced. You know what I mean? Because I know that he has a talent, and Real Madrid has a problem. The problem is to make this talent their god. They have lots of talent to work, and they have to find a way to fix it. And it was even unfair for Mbappe. You're going to a big club thinking that highest, if you didn't win anything in first season, you're gonna win something in second season. But now the second season is gone. He doesn't have time anymore. He doesn't have time to prove himself there, because if he didn't win anything in the next season again, it's just gonna be history for him. It's just gonna that's it for him. Real Madrid is, if I were him, I would look for another club. You know what I mean? Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our video.